Welcome into the ATB show. It is atbshow.com. You can go there. All the links are there. All the accoutrement for the internet is there. Rubber Shoes clearly overexposed in two ways. We have him every morning. Uncle Dukes is like, oh boy, here we go.
I don't think I joined the right show.
He's 1,000% bringing you the news and notes and all of his sports musings every morning on the Rubber Shoes Wrap Up and Rant. That is on Insta every morning, not just the weekdays. Get up on Sunday, you
Insta and Facebook.
You lazy prick, ya. Get up. He's reporting live. And he's also overexposed in a luminescent way. I feel like the lighting's a little hot, little rich and little rich.
The sun is coming.
We need
right
a white
through the
balance
slide.
on that camera.
Coming right through the slider right now.
Well, we unfortunately we already got a white balance. He's Irish and he's like Dunder Mifflin stock. Yeah, there's a lot going on, dude.
Oh, there is a lot going on.
It
seems like it might be out of focus too.
It's so bright. We need a white balance. It's so thank you. Give me something because you look like it's so bright. Rubber Shoes. You look like you have like almost those like white eyebrows. You look albino.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like you shaved him off at a frat party. I don't know what's doing, but I can't look away. This might be the whole show.
Don't you have blinds that you can put over the slider? No.
Well, Adam, put it in the capital budget for 23. We got to get him room darkening shades.
Room darkening.
It's so many matches. I can't.
Nobody can see him.
The drapes are closed right now, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Jesus. What?
Right. The sun is coming right there, right now.
Oh my God!
Right,
5 o'clock.
Stand by. I might be able to digitally.
Oh, look at you with the tools.
How we doing?
Yeah.
How we doing?
Oh, much better.
He's got eyebrows now. Or we bring it all the way back up. No,
Bring him back.
hold it. Give me
That's
like 7 more
amazing.
minutes. I'm going to make this man good looking. Hang on.
Oh.
We don't have that kind of time. Anyway, I think you got your eyebrows back, bud.
So in 15 minutes, it's going to be too dark, and
We will. I will
Stay
pump
on
up
the
the jams.
brightness.
The wildly underutilized tech that we have here at Mission Control. Anyway, welcome in. My name's Timmy. Beautiful downtown Portsmouth. Scotty Dukes holding down beautiful downtown Maine. Adam in Connecticut. He is at 70. I'm never going to say it. Don't worry.
What?
I'm never going to say it. But everybody almost has all the information they need to send you a Hanukkah card or a Christmas
that's so
card.
nice.
A
Please do.
Yuletide message.
Yes.
We are without little shoes. He's out getting room darkening shades as we speak. He's at Joann's Fabrics. Yeah. God bless him.
Is he sewing them too?
He's going to upgrade his phone. That's what he's doing.
Oh, much more important than being on the show.
Is he going to get the new clamshell from our friends at Samsung? What is he doing?
He'll be getting an iPhone.
He's going to the 14 Pro Max, the big girl?
Probably, yeah.
Good for him. Excellent. All right. As we always do before we get into the meat of the day, the soup of the day, and talk about Brady's sack.
Oh,
I left it there for you. Scotty,
Thanks.
what are you drinking? What do we got?
Oh.
not prepared with this yet?
Before we get to the liquid non-sponsors, Rubber Shoes, by all means. We're brought to you by AAA Work Trucks. Rubber Shoes, take it away.
AAA Work Trucks for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a vehicle, it's a good bet. AAA could take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
It's like he
Rubber
does it
Shoes
every
missed
morning.
his calling.
And you may have heard me on the radio on Monday. My spot was running on Monday. Of course, on the holiday when I don't listen. But
You cut it for them, for our favorite station in Boston.
Yes,
I love all of
Wow.
it was me and my general manager all day taking turns.
I love it. I hear the bumper. I know they sponsor. They sponsor the What Are We Doing on our favorite station. At least my favorite station. I heard that this morning on the way in, but it wasn't you. I would know because my heart.
Are
would
you
know.
talking about WODS? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh.
No.
So, it was the hub.
Oh no. Nope.
Oh, so yeah,
Other one, I guess.
The other one. The other one.
That is no longer my favorite station.
I know. Of course not.
Ever since they crushed the Big Show.
All right, Scotty,
We're promoting the competition way too much.
They are not our competition.
People are changing the channel already.
That's like the Boston College kid saying we have a rivalry with Notre Dame. No, you don't, stupid. Go back in your corner. Yeah. They're just the other Irish Catholic school that plays football.
It's Yamato.
Oh.
It's just
It's a Japanese one.
Dude,
All right.
you're so dialed in on. Wow.
I was gonna bust up the 16-year-old Irish, the Scottish Scotch there, but I decided to be cheap today and go with the Japanese.
No.
Why is Japanese Scotch better than other Scotch?
Well, it's not. Let's start there. There'll be a quiz later. Go ahead, by all means.
I definitely like it, but it's not my favorite by any means.
Oh, okay.
No, not even close.
I mean, it looks like you've done some damage to that bottle, so.
I have.
He's getting right into it.
It's not bad. Yeah,
You guys will love this,
too, right?
Scotty's going to love this. So I have all the things I need for all the drinks, right? So I was grabbing this to put, not a sponsor yet, Lord Hobo, the Juice Lord. Have you had this? Yeah. So, but these bastards, this is a 16-ounce big can, right?
Oh no,
Lord Hobo's at 19.2. It won't fit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. I just looked. I'm like, that's not even gonna happen. It doesn't even sit inside.
So what are you gonna do? It's gonna be warm by the end of the show.
I'm also not a sponsor, and I'm sure Allie's probably gonna kill me. One of our great agents here at the ecosystem dropped off after their event, Haven Homes and Lifestyle. I have a pint glass.
Oh,
from
very
one of our
nice.
many successful teams. So I'll put it in that. Now that we're done talking about alcohol and the sun is going down, Rubber Shoes has both eyebrows, the left and the right. So let's get started. What are we talking about? What do we got?
Well, the only team that's actually playing right now, real legitimate regular season stuff, are the Patriots, right?
Yeah, the Bruins don't kick off for drop
Tonight.
clock, whatever.
Tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but
So
let's
start with the
Pats.
Patriots.
We definitely start with the Pats.
I love it. Let's do that. Let's discuss.
29-0. I don't think anybody
Yeah.
had that pick, by the way. Nobody
I don't
here
think
had that
so.
pick.
If you took 21 away from what I had for the Patriots score, you added that 3 to the Lions 26, then you traded the 29 back to the Patriots and moved the goose egg over the line. I was dead on.
Yeah, that's good math.
Yeah,
that's good math.
Like if everything I said was different, I would have been right.
Exactly.
I couldn't have been any more off the mark. And I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to stick to my 8 and 9, so I'm trying to come up with picks that would make sense. And I was way off.
Well, I think everybody was way off, weren't they?
So I'm still on my 7 and 10.
7 and 10 is what you said?
Yeah.
That's so pessimistic for you,
Two
Rubber Shoes.
and 3 through 5 games.
Yeah,
You
2 and
go
3 through 5 games. Yeah, you're still on
15
track.
games is 6 and 15 games is 6 wins, and then they got the 2 extra. They split those. That's 7
But I
wins.
think, first of all, I think Rubber Shoes, you're giving yourself a little bit too much credit. And let me just explain why. I think that our first couple of games we could have gone either way, right? The game against the Packers could have gone either way. Really, the game against the Dolphins, we shot ourselves in the foot, right? And the Dolphins
didn't.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but I'm just saying those were actually like the Packers. People thought was a tough game. That was going to be a tough game. People thought the Dolphins game was going to be a tough game, and they were, and we lost. Yeah, I get that, but we have a series of games here now where it's not very difficult opponents like the Browns, and I'm sure I'm jinxing them. I just think 7 and 10 is a little pessimistic.
It's not gonna be 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2, because they have a soft middle schedule and then they have a very tough end of the season. So
I love a soft middle.
Oh,
it's kind of,
all right.
the season's kind of
Let's
set up
explore
like how
that.
it was last year.
What's his name? Yep.
Just don't go in there dry. But this is the this is what I made my prediction. This is what I was talking about, the stretch run here that the Pats are going to go on, that very similar to what they did last year, right?
Yeah.
When they went on that 6-game winning streak, where they were 2 and 3, and the next thing you know, it was like 6 or 7 game winning streak, and they were in into their bye at 9 and 4, right? Obviously they limped the rest of the way, and then didn't do well in the playoffs. This is where I think that run is essentially going to happen. To Adam's point, with Cleveland, and then I think Chicago, Jets, Colts, Jets, right? So these are your
Right.
5 games where they, should rattle off a decent little streak here. The thing is that everyone's essentially talking about, though, is Zappy. How well he played. I'm not going to use the word great because that's banned from this show now. But how well he played, and the fact that Belichick came out today. Someone asked him straight up if Mac's going to play if he's healthy, and Belichick said he's not going to get into that. He didn't answer it. So he's still kind of really just straddling the fence on that. Which the question now posed to you guys is this that big of a deal? Is the media making it a big deal? Is it going to be a big deal in the locker room? Does this mess with Mac's head? Those are a lot of questions.
Wouldn't it?
No.
Wouldn't it? I think it would, because you're like, okay, Mac came out the first couple of games and stunk. He was just bad. I mean, it wasn't even the offense that was terrible. It was him. I mean, he was throwing, fumbling the ball. He was throwing interceptions. I think it's got to. I mean, Zappy came out and played 2 really clean games, and had, I think he had an interception last week, but it didn't hurt them, obviously, because they didn't let up any points. I don't know. I think it would play with your head, wouldn't it? Even if, Mac Jones he's in his second year. It's not like he's the franchise quarterback that's come to save us after Brady left.
Rubber shoes. Go ahead.
So we have a comment from a girl that I work with who's from Ohio.
Where
said,
are your
"Whoa, whoa."
eyebrows? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
She said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't sleep on the Browns, guys."
I love that because I think A, that's a trap game. B, Aguilar, that almost fumble turned into a pick. It's still a turnover, but
Right.
I blame that less on Zappy and more on.
True. Good point.
That was definitely Aguilar's fault. Yeah,
Yes.
hit him right in the button. He shouldn't have dropped that.
Yeah.
Cleveland fans always have a tendency to say, don't sleep on the Browns in the first 5 games of the season, but it generally
Bernie
doesn't work out
Kosar
too great
looks
for them.
so good right now.
Hey, Jacoby Brissett, he knows our offense.
Jacoby, yes, yes.
no. He knows our
I
offense.
won't sleep on the Browns and Brissett until the final 2 minutes of the game, which is where he's throwing
Yeah,
all of his
and then they
interceptions.
throw him
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to
So,
mention Belichick still has a hair across his ass about getting fired by the Browns. So, I still think he holds that against the Browns, and he wants to beat them every time he sees them. So,
Browns have talent, man. They have a great backfield with Chubb and Hunt and those guys. Like they're a talented team. If Garrett plays, obviously their defense has got some skill, but I still think I'm not getting to picks now, but I'm going to pick the Patriots. Shocking to win the game, but yeah, I mean it's just I'm not looking past it, but I mean back to the Zappy thing though. So Adam, to your point, when you were saying about is it going to mess with his head? Now, are you one of the guys I would say that Mac doesn't get the job back because he threw 5 picks to only 2 tutties just to start the season, or is that you give him his job back?
well, I personally, I don't. You've got a rookie and you've got a second-year guy. All right, it's not like Zappy has lit the world on fire. I mean, I think he's had 2 solid games, but not like anything that would be like, whoa, this guy's a superstar in the league, right? But to me, you ride that as long as you can until he shows you otherwise. That's the way I look at it. It's like, okay, the guy got injured. Now you've got a guy who you just drafted, and he's shown you some really good things in the first 2 games. Keep him in the game, ride him, and see what happens. Now, as soon as it goes south, you go back to Mac. That's the way I would do it. But, that's why I'm playing Madden on my couch and not, coaching on the sidelines.
Yeah,
I feel like you're playing it on the Wii. Are you playing it on the Wii? What are you doing?
I'm a Switch guy.
Oh,
It's
I
not
love that you have the Switch.
Nintendo.
You honestly have Madden on the Switch?
Yeah.
I'm so impressed. I'm so proud of you right now.
Thank you.
The
Thank you, Tim.
tier. I mean, raise your hand if you're not shot. Are you not shot? Like Scotty seems to be on board with this. I figured you were like WNBA.
I have that too. I play a lot of WNBA.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, no, I play a lot
I
of
feel
WNBA.
like you're way deeper into the general manager portion of that game than you are. Yeah.
Most likely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, still proud of you.
Oh, just-
Sorry. Go ahead.
So
Carry on.
To
Yep.
compare them to last year, they're so far through this schedule, they've played against the 30th ranked defense combined. They've played against the worst defenses in the league, and they're 10 spots worse than they were a year ago on
Why are you
offense.
comparing to last year though? But why?
Well, that's just saying that their offense is worse this year than it was last year
But it's also like it's apples and
against
oranges,
worse
right?
defenses.
But it's apples and oranges. You're looking at a brand new scheme. You're looking at a brand new coordinator. It's a whole different thing, right?
Right.
It's
That
a
just shows you
totally
how
different-
great Patricia's doing.
I honestly think Patricia's getting better. I think he struggled immensely against in the Miami game, and he's gotten like slightly better each game. Is he lighting the world on fire, as we all keep apparently saying in this show? No, I don't think he is. But I think he's doing a better job than I think people are giving him credit for. He's still.
Well, it's because they dumbed down the offense for Zappy, so there's less things he has to worry about.
There's like an excuse or a reason. You got to stop listening to the friggin' radio show down the street.
I watch the games with my own eyes.
I do what, and I don't. Of course I do. I watch them as well,
But rubbish shoes, you're so down on the team. Like, you're so negative.
They let him throw the ball 14 times this week.
So Mac Jones had a game where he didn't throw the ball once.
The worst defense in the league.
Mac Jones played against the Bills last year. He didn't throw the ball once. So
he did. Yeah, twice.
Well, that was a monsoon.
Twice. Sorry, twice.
He threw the ball 21 times, by the way. He was 17 for 21.
Against the Packers, he only threw it 14 times.
10 for 14 was the week
15
before,
against Green Bay, 15 times against Green Bay, and then 21 against Detroit. But the thing is, they do run the football. Now, here's a question going into this week, because it's only going to be Ramondre, right? Because Damian Harris is going to miss multiple weeks.
My God, I know.
They haven't promoted anyone.
I know. I'd expect like J.J. Taylor or somebody to be there, you know what I mean? But they haven't done anything with that. So it's only Ramondre, which, it was cool to see Belichick gush over Ramondre because he doesn't gush over anybody. But that's...
Yeah, love him, he said. Love him.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
Boxes full of chocolates getting sent his way. That's like... He just picks the weirdest moments to go gushy, too, I guess, is fascinating to me. So when our resident contrarian, because apparently he hates the Patriots now, which is fine. What shirt are you wearing? What's it? AAA work trucks?
You on the Dolphins bandwagon this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
this is a
No, it's Patriots hat. I'm looking
right
at the shirt. AAA work trucks. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Are you not entertained? Like, are you not enjoying this? I'm loving this.
No,
Like
100%.
If this forces Mac up, and I honestly, and yeah, it's a small sample. They're not unleashing the offense if they dumbed it down for him. If this kid's taking freshman year math and making it look like algebra 2 because he's creative, because he will escape the pocket. I don't know. I don't hate what I'm seeing, and I'm not watching. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, I didn't watch every minute of the games because last week we were coming into the clubhouse as the game had already started. But he looks good. He looks creative. If he forces Mac to raise his game, and I just think they're wildly different people, and I think if they can, I guess what's heartbreaking is they're both not going to be on this team for long. Like that, one of them is going to become trade bait. Like somebody's either upping their stock right now, and Mac is going to come back and get the job. But I think if I'm Belichick, you have to feel like this feels very similar. There's an opportunity right now that if this kid stays in the role and keeps growing, but Mac got top 10 money, so you can't ignore that either. Who's going to take that money with a high ankle sprain? If he didn't show anything, the Patriots are giving up on him. Why would we want to take that over? I don't know. There's a million different variables there. I love that this kid is a nobody and he's showing up, because invariably, we talk about this all the time at our house. Janina says it all the time. The kids that turn into great quarterbacks are from Western, Southern, Northern, Eastern, Kentucky, State, Community, JUCO. And you're like, where'd they come from? And I know he's probably the blandest, and I say that he's the blandest quarterback to come out of Alabama in quite some time. But he's still an Alabama kid that was on a national stage. And the fact that we got him at 10 was amazing. But he is in his second year. And Zappy's got, I don't know, I feel like he's got the je ne sais quoi. He's got that intangible that we're not seeing from Mac. And I totally agree. I don't know if it ever shows up with Mac. And I'm excited about this kid, but I'm also the biggest fangirl on the stage right now. I know that, but but I'm enjoying the hell out of this. And and I'm 8-9. We don't make the playoffs. I just want this to be fucking fun as we light ourselves on fire anyway.
And if I was listening to the other radio stations, I would be
Oh my God.
the number one fan of Bailey Zappi and thinking that the Patriots were going to the Super Bowl. That's how everyone's talking on the radio right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's obviously
I just listen to it and shake my head.
I there's not a piece of me. I still don't think we get to the playoffs. I'm sticking with 8-9. But I love the fact that we're fine. Because what did I say to you guys when he got hurt? I'm like, I hope they go with Bailey. And I didn't want I didn't want Hoyer to get hurt. But if this all expedites the process of Hoyer going to the sideline by next year, and I think he'll be valuable in that role. Because honestly, I mean, I don't know. Everybody's probably going to disagree with me because that's what happens. I would rather see Hoyer running the quarterback room than Joe Judge.
Huh. That's
there's a good chance because I've
1,000%.
heard that he may not come back. Like
that Hoyer won't come back.
Injury's not like career ending, but I think it put a scare in him where he's done. I've heard.
Yeah, you're going back out there to back somebody
done.
up to go back out to get lit up again.
Yeah.
And it's there's something going on in the universe right now where just these hits. There was the hit on the game. It was a primetime game. I forget who it was. I bet most of us were watching. The kid that got popped.
On Hines for the Colts.
Yes. And he couldn't find his legs. And that was there's and it's good for the sport. It's good for the health of the athletes. There's a lot going on right now with kids getting popped in the head. And this could go one of two ways. The NFL is never going to let it go away. But like they've got to figure something out. Like they've got to be better about like that. And they talked about this too. When you stand up and you can't walk, we don't need to bring you to the tent. You just demonstrated in front of the universe you can't walk.
Right.
You're going right into protocol.
So my philosophy for hockey and football is been that the equipment's getting too good and that people they think they can run through a wall, so they're throwing everything. If they made it less protective, like if you were wearing the old leather helmets, you wouldn't be throwing your head into someone the way they do. I think the equipment they feel invincible in it, and that's the problem. The same in hockey. It's like they're forced to wear helmets now, and I see more concussion in hockey now than they did back in the 70s and 80s when they didn't wear helmets.
And the athletes are faster and stronger.
Yeah.
Like you watch any old movie, especially right now, if somebody's going to dig it up and watch any of the Roger Maris, everybody went in and they're cruising beers and and ripping darts at their locker while they're talking to the press, right?
Yep.
They're smoking cigarettes. Nobody because all those guys, they didn't have an off season where they went to Arizona and worked with their trainer. They went back and did their mail route. It was just totally
they did their
totally
construction
different.
jobs in the off season.
Yeah, didn't make the
Careful
Super
about
Bowl,
the
Jimmy. What
plumbers
are you
and
doing
firefighters'
now?
comments.
I'm going back to my construction job.
Yeah.
It's wildly different. Everybody is stronger and faster. I agree with you, and I would argue too in their effort. I'm pointing fingers at like nobody, but Nike makes most of the apparel, right? But I mean, whether you're talking about Shoot or Russell or anybody who was making the shoulder pads and the helmets. Rydell. I think in the effort to make it lighter, there's not a piece of me that thinks the tech's not brilliant, and I know it's protective, and I know they're working way harder and smarter than the four of us could ever come up with. But I think in the effort to make it hyper light, it is becoming less effective. Maybe. Like I don't know. I think they say they're working on the tech, but I don't know.
They do the testing. I wouldn't think it's less effective. I just think that you're getting guys going full bore. Like they're not worried. I mean, they should be, but they're not worried. They think that their stuff can protect them so well that they're just throwing their body into harm's way without even thinking about it. And I mean, there's some of these hits. I mean, we saw good hits in the 90s with Ronnie Lott and those type of players, but I mean, every play is giving these type of hits now.
Yep.
I love that we're the show on the internet that is making the case for less protective gear for football players and hockey players.
If I had a platform
more protective gear
for the last 20 years, I that's one of the things I've been saying. I think it's they're making the equipment too good that it's actually hurting them because they're going at people at much more force.
So I would say that, just to play devil's advocate here for a second, I would say that you keep the equipment as good as it is and continue to improve it, and you give the players better training on how to use it and how to protect themselves.
Well,
because it's like you don't go, this seatbelt is protecting you too well, so don't get a light. We're gonna make it less safe for you. Just go get the same license and be reckless. It's kind of like that's.
We were talking about this at the fire system the other day. It's like all these players that are in the league, coming in right now. This is the generation that was taught to tackle better and not throw. And they're once they get, because they know the splash on ESPN, that's going to get them more money. That's going to get them the sponsors. They want to be on ESPN every week. And I know ESPN has changed. Like they don't do the same. I know on the wrap-up show with Berman and Jackson, they used to do things for the big hits and stuff. They've changed that a little bit, but you still the highlights on ESPN.
What was it? It was
morning,
you got what was the catch line?
You got jacked or something.
You got
like
jacked.
that.
They had a whole series about people getting lit up, and they got rid of that.
They changed that, but like you watch ESPN Sports Center, they have the top 10 plays, and like 2 or 3 of them are hard hits. That's great catches and stuff, but they're still showing the hits on there. And if you don't catch the ball,
I honestly think the speed comes into a huge play. I mean, to Timmy's point, these guys are super fast. They're super athletic. They're flying around the field. The other thing is too, you look at a lot of the injuries and things like that are happening a lot on special teams as well. And the thing is, when you talk about the guys they're just trying to keep a job a lot of the times. So they're giving it everything they have, and the speed is insane. So you are teaching them. I mean, in theory, you're right. They should be better tacklers because they should have gone through the correct training and they know how to tackle. It's really hard though at times because not only should they know how to tackle, and they do, but these dudes also know how to run. They know how to avoid. They know how to make plays. And they're trying to do that, and the speed is so fast. That's when you start to see people, try to make a move, and the guy accidentally, instead of hitting with his shoulder, hits him with his head. So things like that do happen. The NFL is in such a tough position because you have conversations like this, but then you also have conversations, where Troy Aikman's asking people to take the skirts off or the dresses off because of the the call against
oh my God, that was
Derek
unbelievable.
Carr, which was not roughing the passer, by the way. That's football. That was football. That was Chris Jones stripping the ball, having it in his arms. There's no way for him to stop himself from falling on top of Derek Carr because he has the football in his hands, and then he falls on top of him, and they get roughing the passer. And then the Brady one
was football.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it is. That's football. And the Brady one was just as bad, if not worse, where Grady Jarrett took him down, and that's all he did. He took him down. He didn't whip him down. I looked at that replay 1,000 times. He didn't whip him down. He just made the tackle and brought it down. Brought him down for a sack. And they're throwing these flags, but then you got other conversations where it's like, well, you have to protect these guys, and how do you do that? So the NFL is in like this really weird spot. I know they started looking at the roughing the passer penalty. And they're going to look at that, I think, throughout the season and see how that adjusts. But if things don't change, and I think Richard Sherman said this too on Twitter, was like, what happens during a postseason game and that costs someone a playoff spot, or either a playoff spot or in the playoffs, costs like a division or a conference championship, or even worse, the Super Bowl, because this is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it is out of hand. I on a side note, I'm glad you brought him up. They've put together such an amazing staff on Amazon. It's pretty obnoxious the amount of talent they have on there. And I don't know, did we bring this up a couple of weeks ago? Ginny and I were talking. I'm like, it's unbelievable how much talent they've gathered. I'm like, how long is the contract? Did I tell you guys? I looked it up. It's 11 years.
Oh my God.
Amazon got Thursday Night Football for 11 years.
Wow.
I'm like, so that makes sense. But I think their dais, when they got Sherman going, and that they got a great crew. I think they did a really good job with their crew.
They have
And
that guy from the Rams from last year. What was his name? The big lineman. Don't they have him? On Amazon
Whitworth or whatever.
Is it Whitworth? I think it's Whitworth. I think you're right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, they did a really good job with their staff, but 11-year deal.
That's
11-year
insane.
deal, which is amazing.
Fitzpatrick's on there, right? Too.
Yeah, he's on there.
Magic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on there. Yes. Because they had the Bengals game and they were both talking about how they used to be on the Bengals. Yes.
Brady's biggest fan.
It's like all the
Exactly.
all the different shows. I forget which one's on which channel.
Yep.
It's like,
I know.
Every Sunday's amazing.
Just ask
Sundays
Tim. He
are
knows
amazing.
about all the different channels.
What's that?
Just ask him. Just ask you. You know about all the different channels.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Apple Pluses,
Apple,
and
Disney,
Netflixes.
Apple, Disney, Paramount Plus. Yep.
Right.
Although
Okay, Got it.
other than the Patriots being on, I'm usually red zone during the day, except for the Patriots game. I'll have the Patriots game on the big TV and red zone on the iPad, and then once that game's over, red zone goes on the big screen.
I got red zone on my projector
football.
and Pats game on the TV.
The red zone on the projector.
No commercials.
Love that.
What
so
is
is that
happening
downstairs?
in your
Is that
houses?
downstairs, Scotty?
Yeah, it's right. I usually have this wall right over here, and I'll either project on the wall or get my screen out. I have a big screen that I can also.
So
put
do you
on
have a
too.
ceiling mount projector?
No, it's portable.
I love all of that.
It's like it's
So-
it's I got it. The wife got it for me.
Amy's a good woman. Amy's a good woman.
And
So how
the Roku stick right into that thing?
does it blow up to like?
Yeah, I
is,
love the
it
Roku.
is it 100-inch or do you? Obviously,
The screen?
you can zoom it in and out because you can put it as
Yeah,
close to the
yeah,
wall as you want.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Does it? Is it?
Oh yeah. No, we've taken this entire like section of my entire like house up with the screen before. When we had everything moved out of here, we had like a big movie night. We watched. I think it was like Lord of the Rings or something like that. We put it on, and we had the entire
Such a
wall was
dork.
covered. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
That's
You-
awesome.
Were you
So
dressed up
much
as Frodo or Gandalf? Tell me.
Gandalf, all freaking day. You kidding me?
Gandalf.
Why do you think I started
Yeah.
the beard?
Yeah.
I love you got
it
pissed
just
that you
like
would even
right.
suggest.
Yeah. Frodo, how
Nobody's
dare
gonna
you?
even-
I shaved
Yeah,
my
what is
toes,
wrong?
damn it. That's amazing.
Oh, goodness gracious.
All right, pick for Sunday. What do we got?
So Vegas has. Are you ready for this? Vegas has the Browns giving
Cleveland's
3.
3.5, right?
Yeah, well,
Wow.
I just saw 3 on Vegas Insider.
Oh.
Yeah, Cleveland's giving.
Wow.
Yep.
I believe it.
All right, I'll go first. I'm 27-10 Pats.
27-10.
7-10. Woo,
Yep.
I like it.
23-17 Cleveland.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still thinking.
Okay.
You've had all week, dude. What is happening?
Hang on. We're going to put him on the spotlight. I brighten him up.
Oh,
Boo.
bring him up. Oh, there it is.
I like that.
'Cause, I mean, they got Miles Garrett and JV.
Oh,
Javen
still playing it out in the
Clowney.
head. All right,
Yeah,
let's go.
Clowney. But Mac Jones was listed as limited participation today, and
When
so
he makes his
there's a
picks,
chance he
we
could
need.
go.
I got to get the mix over the screen with the beautiful mind, all the math problems.
Oh,
floating.
yes.
Yes,
That would be
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I'll talk to the tech department about that. Yeah.
I'm gonna
we
say
can work that out.
23-20 Cleveland.
Ooh, he's going with Vegas. I like it. You stole my. Yeah. What did I say? 23-17.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I already forgot.
I like rubber shoes and I. We might have to get together this weekend, sir.
Oh,
Oh.
28-20 Pats. I'm taking 28-20 Pats.
28-20.
28-20
Oh, that's an
All right.
interesting score. All right.
All right.
What are you throwing in a safety there or what? No.
No, it's 4 touchdowns and then what? A couple of field goals and 2 touchdowns. On the other end.
Listen, he has
7 times
Madden
4 is
for the
28.
Switch. It's very different.
Oh!
Yeah.
First, you were proud of me, and
Japanese scoring system. Japanese scoring system. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
got
You
it.
want some
yes.
of the Japanese
Okay.
whiskey? Then
Yeah.
you can.
That's
Just,
right.
you can
You can play as Mario in Madden on the Switch, right? Let's go.
People are so mad that Chris Pratt is playing Mario in a freaking.
I know
animated
it's
series.
ridiculous.
They're
I mean,
all fired.
it is terrible. Have you heard it?
So-
It's terrible.
Well, help me with this. I
sounds like Chris Pratt.
saw everybody talking about who's playing who. and I think I know the answer, and this is why I don't want to ask because we're having fun right now. Is this a live action?
No.
Voicing.
totally
it. He's voicing it. Okay.
Yeah, just voiceover work. Yeah.
Okay.
Live action. I love Chris Pratt running around with the red hat.
But you never know. we're going into a recession. Their agent hands them the script. They're like, how much?
Just do it.
24 million? De Niro money to be an asshole? Sure. Where's my go-kart? Like, they'll do it.
I do like that Jack Black is going to play Bowser, though. I think that's hysterical. That should be interesting.
Yeah. So who is crafting this animated feature?
Oh, I don't know.
It's
That's
actually
a good question.
from it's like Nintendo.
They're doing it.
It is, and they're also they're partnering with the folks that do like Despicable Me and those Illumination.
Oh, okay.
Illumination that do Despicable Me and all those. So yeah, that's what it is. The animation actually doesn't look that bad. I only heard Pratt.
No,
talk
the animation
for like
looked good.
10 seconds in like the trailer or something like that. He wasn't doing like this. He just sounded like him. He wasn't doing like a Mario voice or anything like that.
It would have been worse if he tried to do a Mario voice. It would have been worse.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I'm happy he's not doing it, but people are all mad that it's not an Italian American person.
Culturally appropriated. It's 1987. I'm sure someone would get sued if they tried to do that, right? Like,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
If it's the other way, someone would be mad about that shit.
Yeah, somebody would be very upset.
Tim, are you seeing the comments?
What's happening? No, I'm not.
We got a comment from Cheryl.
Oh, here we go. There we go.
Cheryl
Says, "Love you boys. You make me laugh. So entertaining."
Oh, God bless her.
Very nice.
God bless her. God bless her.
How many lemon martinis is that?
Hi, Mom.
She's scanning Nesson 1 and Nesson 2 for the Red Sox. They're over, Cheryl. They're over.
She's watching.
Yeah.
She's watching the June game, so she's really excited. Right
yeah, very.
Yeah, they're very good.
We're making that rush. Where the trade
Real lot of
deadline's coming
progress.
up. Yep, we might get Max Scherzer. It's going to be great.
Chris Sale, 1 or 2 pieces will be good.
She was heartbroken, as I think everybody like. Eck leaving is a horror show.
Yeah.
Horror show.
It's awful.
So good in the booth. So good in the booth. She was not pleased about
Have
that.
they announced his replacement?
She said, "Stop picking on me."
There it is. Yes. she's recording the show.
Yeah, I know. Are they gonna? I wish they would just get a full-time person. Like,
Rubber Shoes is back in the dark. Can we light him up again?
Hang on. Watch this. Watch
yeah,
all
the
this.
sun- The sun's
Here we go
down
here.
now.
Stand by.
Oh,
Stand by.
Oh, I
sepia.
look like Trump. I was orange there for a second.
You got it. You got it.
Oh, I love that. Leave that.
No,
Oh, that looks
no,
like
no.
the 1980s.
Oh,
Now I'm moving them all back to the middle. He's good, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Right there, it's good.
Yeah,
Right there.
there it
But he
is.
was a little dark. The sun
Yeah.
had gone down, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we doing with the Celtics? Well, I think we should talk about the Celtics because I have to tell you, they were. I don't know if you guys watched any of the preseason games, but they were lights out. I mean,
there's one
I know
left.
I know, but I'm saying the ones that they've already played. They did lose. They lost one of them, but it was they were up by like 25, and they put all the guys that are trying to make a roster spot,
yeah.
and then they lost.
Toronto's subs beat our subs.
Yeah. Oh, and they're not even our subs. They're probably guys that aren't even going to make the team.
Yeah,
So
They beat the main Celtics.
beat the Lobsters.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I thought they looked really good when you had the starters on the floor, and Brogdon looked like he fit in perfectly, and Hauser is just lights out right now. I'm sure he won't shoot like that the whole season, but so I think we're right in line. The only thing that's troubling me is that we're on the cover of Sports Illustrated this week, so
Yeah.
that's problematic. But
Well, so I'm pretty sure that when they do these
No,
type-
I got 19 questions. I'm going to start with my first two.
when they
Do
do
you
these
actually
covers,
Do you get Sports Illustrated mailed to your house?
me?
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Okay. Just checking. I don't know what Scotty's concern arose from, but that was my first concern. Are you still getting that sent to you? And second, are you mailing copies of the swimsuit edition to Rubber Shoes? But that was only a secondary question if you actually still got it mailed to you.
Yeah, so nowadays they do
Ignores everything. Yeah,
Just
by
ignoring
all
it.
means.
Just
Sorry to
ignoring it.
interrupt your show, Rubber Shoes. Keep going. Finish your
they
thought.
do regional covers. So I'm sure
Oh, that's right.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
Who cares? It's still a
because of the
jinx.
jinx, they don't do just a single cover like that anymore for that stuff.
Yeah, it's like Dunkin'
that not
Donuts.
a
I'm in
jinx,
Quincy. I don't want a Browns cup. Yeah.
Just like as long as they don't have like this is going to be fun, like when they had like Nash and Dwight Howard when they got in the Lakers, like that just iconic. Now it's like infamous Sports Illustrated cover because it was not fun. That season.
No,
for the Lakers.
Theirs is like we're not going anywhere. I think is what the thing is on the cover.
And who is it? Like the new big
Smart.
three? Is it Smart?
It's
JT
Smart,
and JT.
JT and
JB?
and JB. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like that.
We're still here, is what it says. We're still here.
Still here. Nice.
I like that.
The one thing I like, if you read the article about it, is that Tatum, he didn't give off a vibe after they lost the finals that he was pissed. Like you would see him and it didn't feel like he was like, I'm gonna go, into hiding and become a much better player. But when you read what he said about it, you feel like, okay, he took this a lot more to heart than you actually saw at the end of the finals last year, which, gives me hope because you worry about that he didn't have that fire in him, but I don't after reading the article. It's definitely worth reading. It's short, but
I think
go check it out.
Tatum played so much basketball up to that point. Like between like the multiple playoffs he had already played in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, the USA basketball commitment that he had, you know what I mean, playing with the national team and stuff. And the dude had just played so much. And I remember like Brad Stevens, and I don't know if we can say Udoka, but they told him
You can
go away, like don't touch a ball, like don't even look at a basketball.
Too soon, too late. I don't even know.
He didn't take his own advice, I guess. He didn't take his own advice.
He said touch and ball in the same sentence, Your Honor. So.
But they just told him to like escape, man. Like just escape, get out, and don't there's no reason for you to do that. You've played so much. So I think that's to your point, Adam, where he looked so just out of it almost, right? It was just it was wild to kind of see, because I thought the same thing at first, but you look at the numbers that the dude put up and the minutes that he's been playing for the last 2 to 3 seasons, and I think that the Celtics look on paper as deep as any team in basketball right now.
Absolutely,
they can go almost 1 through 12, and they can match with just about anybody. The Udoka thing is calmed down a bit. It'll spike back up at the next Tuesday they have their first game against Philly. So it'll spike back up a little bit. It'll be talked about then, obviously national TV coverage and stuff. Then they get a couple of days off before their next game, but I think it will die down, especially if they win, right? Because everyone says like the cliche
winning cures all.
Yeah. So if Mazzulla can get him to, am I pronouncing that right? Mazzulla?
Yeah, it's Joe Mazzulla.
Right?
Isn't it Joe Mazzulla?
Mazzulla, right?
Joe Mazzulla, yeah.
And if
it's Italian for the last guy touched too many people. It's a longer translation, but if you really decline it, back to what's.
Can we get a guy named Smith for a change? I mean, we had Udoka, and now we have Mazzulla. But anyways, go ahead, Scotty.
Time. I mean, that was
Stevens. That's true. Stevens was pretty straight laced.
Easy. That's pretty easy. Go and Udoka and Mazzulla, I think will be okay. But as long as they win, I think that'll kind of keep things. But they're young, but they've been around the league for quite a while.
Right.
At least it seems, you know what I mean? So I think they're ready to kind of take this next step. I mean, I'm not fucking around my prediction right now. I'm saying they're going to go to the finals and they're going to win the whole thing.
Oh, wow. Good night, everybody.
Right.
Tip your waiters and waitresses.
I'm not pussyfooting around.
There's a reason he's got the bird jersey up
today. If it goes
today.
in, on, or near a duck boat, Triple H Work Trucks probably has it.
One caveat.
Yep.
They have to be healthy.
Caveat. Healthy.
They have to be
healthy. Well, yeah, of course. Like, that kind of goes without saying.
They got to be healthy. Like, they can't, like, if JT goes down, then, that sucks. You know what I mean? So they have to be healthy. But
yeah, see, that's what they tried to have last year, but there was so many injuries in the first half. Right now they have two fives. Like, they can start their starting five and completely put in a second five and not really lose a lot. Like, their second five should dominate the rest of the league's subs. So it's health. I don't know. I mean, anything can happen in the playoffs, but I see them taking the number 1 seed in the East.
I mean, the East is still loaded. They still have a ton of talent. You know what I mean? The East is really good. So Milwaukee's still going to be there. Brooklyn, I think, they'll be a pain in the ass. I don't think they'll be at the top of the standings, but they'll still be around. I think Toronto will be a little bit better with, Scotty Barnes. I think that kid's going to be a friggin' stud this year. But, I think that, I think the Celtics just have the depth. And the way they played – even in the preseason, the way they moved the ball and stuff, it was what you saw at the end of, when January hit, right?
Yeah.
Where they were struggling, they weren't playing great, then January hits, and then they kind of flipped that switch. That's the kind of switch that you've seen them play with, even in the preseason so far. So, I think if they could do that, the other thing is, too, is I love Blake Griffin saying, we're locked in and no one has to tell us we're locked in. Like, it's such a friggin' jab at Durant and Kyrie and Steve Nash and everyone over at the Nets. You know what I mean? Just like, I'm over here now. Thanks. I'm with professionals, not just a bunch of, prima donnas. But
also Gallinari just came out and said he might be back. So that's kind of good news. Yeah. So, which was surprising to say the least, because everybody thought he was done for the season. So that's good news. To your point, Scotty, in the preseason game against the Hornets, they had 41 assists in that game. 41 assists is like out of control. And the other thing I want to put out there is, I love Peyton Pritchard, but is he the odd man out now? Because you've got basically 2 starting point guards. One's going to sit the bench and one's going to start. Obviously, Smart will start.
The only thing the only reason that may not happen is because of the way the game is played today. You're going to see small lineups, right? So you're going to see a 3-guard lineup. When you have Brogdon play your 3, your small forward position, you'll probably have Derek White because there's like an inch or 2 difference between them. He'll be your 2, and then Pritchard in there. It all depends on who their big is going to be, right? I don't see that happening if Tatum's the 4. I don't see that. You know what I mean? It's got to be like Vonleh or somebody like that that's going to have to be out there to help rebound and stuff. But I'm hoping not, because I love Peyton Pritchard too, as long as he's kind of cut down a little bit on the turnovers and stuff. But we'll see. Yeah, I think you.
Well, they all need to do that. They all need to cut down on the turnovers. Vonleh, by the way, was unbelievable. Did you watch? I assume you watched the preseason games. Vonleh was unbelievable. He better make the roster. I told you that
when they signed him, I'm like, you have to keep an eye on him. This dude. He was on the Knicks for a few years. Like, the dude can freaking ball. He's a 10 rebound guy. Like, he just, without a doubt, he'll get you 10 boards a night with no question. So looking forward, especially with Horford and Williams. Like, you need that size right now. You need somebody like that. Horford is 345 years old. Williams' knees are 360 years old.
So
judgy.
Come on,
Jesus, you gotta. But.
And don't sleep on Cornette. Don't sleep on Cornette either.
I think that was a big reason why they got Griffin too. Griffin can give them some rest too. The big guys.
Exactly. Yeah, spell some minutes for him. Absolutely.
Yep.
So you said Noah's name it's pronounced Vonleh?
I think so. Yeah.
Is that
right?
Okay. Yeah, I think I say Vonleh or whatever, but yeah, it's Vonleh.
Vonleh Industries, Seinfeld.
Yes.
You want to be my?
You want to be my latex salesman, Jerry? Yeah, that's awesome. Love it. Love it.
All that expert analysis. So he takes away
Industry. That's all I got. I don't watch the G League. You ladies watch the G League. I have no idea what's happening.
He wasn't in the G League.
I'm joking.
What are you doing?
Until they hit the parquet and they're wearing our colors, I don't know what the NBA. I don't know what's happening. I have no idea. Right. But I'm going to make this wild prediction that'll piss everybody off because that's what I do. Oh, Little Boots.
The cat is here.
Little Boots.
Buzz.
What's in Little Boots? What's the cat's name? Jerry?
Jingle.
Yes. Okay.
Jingle shoes.
Celtics get to the finals, lose to Phoenix.
Terrible pick. Terrible pick.
You're welcome. Yep.
Phoenix.
Yep.
So we have to go all out and
talk about 100 years old. Chris Paul. Jeez.
You don't have to predict the play. I don't know. Whatever you guys want to do.
I love what you did.
Well, Scotty didn't throw out a win total yet. So, and their over under for wins is 54.5 games. So win total first, I think. And then you've already said that they're going to go to the finals, but.
Sure. So last year they won 51. So
Yep.
I see them jumping that by 6. So I'm going to say 58.
Woo! All right. 58. Rubber shoes. What about you?
62.
It's an 80.
Holy shit!
Wow.
62.
62.
Wow.
82 game season, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
This is the deck we're dealing with? You don't even know how many games are in the season? All right, got it.
No,
Okay.
I was confirming. Listen, Tecmo Bowl.
Oh!
Yeah.
Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, Jackson.
Oh,
It's
so
called
good.
Paper Mario.
So good.
It's called Paper
Give me
Mario.
juke. Anyway,
Exactly.
sorry. Yeah, I'll do it. 60 and 22.
60 win season.
So
Yep. Yep.
I'm 62 and 20, 60 and 22.
All right. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm closer to Scotty
81
on
and
this.
1.
but
Do it. Do it, you wimp.
Is that like betting $1 on the prices, right? If everybody
Yes,
else goes
yes.
over? Okay, good.
How much is the Baca Lounge?
You gotta say 48.
$5.99. We'll be right
I'm
back, everybody.
I'm at 59 and 23, and I think they make the finals as well. And I will predict that they win.
Oh,
I'm gonna say Celtics beat the Mavericks. And Luka.
Oh, that's a sleeper pick.
Yeah.
Definitely. They made a lot of changes. Dallas made a lot
Love
of
me,
changes.
love me some Luca.
You know what we
I
haven't
love
talked
Luka.
about real
I
quick,
love
and
Luka.
I know we
I love
still need
Luka.
to talk about the Bruins. I mean, I guess the
Well,
Draymond
they're
Green, the
actually
Draymond
starting
Green punch. Did everybody see? I
Oh,
assume
yeah.
everybody saw the video of the
Yes.
punch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God, what a nightmare!
First of
And
all,
he's going to
who
start
doesn't-
the first game of the season.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
well,
who
no,
doesn't
but,
want to punch
but-
Jordan Poole in the face, though? I mean, come on.
No shit. That guy.
Well,
is
yeah,
a
obviously,
freaking-
yeah,
he's
obviously.
almost as big a punk as Draymond.
all
He
right,
is.
but if like everybody talking about it's in the locker room, and like if we think about the Patriots and Belichick and things stay inside, we don't talk about Fight Club, all that kind of stuff, pun intended. Who was in a closed gym shooting that video? How do they not know who it is? They absolutely know who it is.
Oh,
They must
course.
know who it is. And that person's probably no longer with the organization.
Yeah.
And like,
But he loses his job. He or she loses their job, and Draymond Green doesn't get. He gets like a fine and a slap on the wrist. Like that's ridiculous.
It's different, though. No, that's to me.
what-
That's
yeah,
what
because
happened.
Kent,
It's like the
Kent
times
the
that, like-
intern, isn't bringing people into the seats.
Exactly. That's one. Two, the fact that dude, this happens all the time. Like but it shouldn't get out. It
Correct.
shouldn't get out. Like you remember like you talk about the I don't know if you guys ever watched the documentary, like Shaq, beat the hell out of Scott Skiles. Imagine if that friggin' thing got out. Shaq,
Yeah,
let
you
Scott
guys- that's a
Skiles
good
throw the
point.
ball out of
That's a
the
good point.
prima donna, and then he jumped
It's-
at Shaq. Shaq just went bing, and just like
When-
come on, like it's just
When people step away, like if they, like just to go back to Eckersley, because I don't think he got enough time when he spoke the other night and all that stuff. Let's talk about Dennis. If you go back to Eckersley, you go back to any professional player, they'll talk about the fact they will miss more than anything in the locker room. And part of that is the relationships with the guys in the locker room and the sanctity of the locker room. Now, bigger picture, the closed gym practice, all that stuff going on. You're telling me that our kids haven't punched each other? Like that shit happens all the time. And trust me, I am not counsel for Draymond Green. You go straight to jail. You're a Douchosaurus Rex with the little arms, like all of it. I despise him, but nobody should know that took place.
I agree. 100%. I agree.
Nobody should know that was a nothing burger that made it because it was the only thing going on besides some other preseason games.
This right here is something that you would see on ESPN. There was an altercation at the Warriors practice between Poole and Draymond.
Mm-hmm.
Sources said it got heated, blah, blah, blah. The end.
Yep.
That's it. And then the video comes out, and it looks so much worse for both guys, by the way, because Jordan Poole looked like a bitch. And then, Draymond looked like a bigger bitch for like kind of sucker punching him. But,
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just, it should never have happened. And whatever like TMZ paid for that, there was someone like said it was like $5,000 or something like that. Like, I hope that's worth it for that person that lost their freaking job.
Yep.
Because it's so freaking ridiculous, man. That should never, never, never happen. I'm kind of happy. I'm happy
It was
that
Kent
did.
from marketing. He's a trust fund kid. He'll be
Warriors, I
fine.
hate them and I want them to go away.
See, Jordan Poole thought that the basketball fights that happened during a game was the same way that it happens in the gym. So he gave him the shove and expected him just, everyone to get in the middle, everything. I think I freaking, you know what? You push someone like that, you better be looking for a punch to come back your way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I hear what you guys are all saying, but I have to say this is the world that we live in now. I mean, honestly, there's video of everything, and if that's not enough, if humanity is not enough to deter you from hauling off and punching a guy who's like 6 inches shorter than you, then the fact that everybody has a camera on their phone should be enough to persuade you to not do it. Mm-hmm. So not only is Draymond an idiot, but it's like, you've got to get suspended for something like that. I'm not saying for the whole season, but I'm saying for 6 weeks. 6 games, 10 games. I don't think the whole season. I think a few games, but nonetheless, it's a precedent, right? Now it's a precedent. It happens in the Mavs locker room. All of a sudden it gets leaked out to TMZ. Somebody's going to get money. And, these guys are just going to start doing it because there's no repercussion. A fine to him is like nothing. The guy makes $70 million. It's
not every locker room has a Draymond Green. There's going to be incidents in the locker room. Christ, Gilbert Arenas showed up with a gun because a dude owed him $20,000. You know what I mean? But that never that leaked out after the fact that he retired and stuff. But you know what I mean? It's just these things that happen in the locker room stay within the locker room. And it wasn't somebody shooting with a cell phone. That was a team, to Timmy's point, that was a closed practice. That was the video of the practice so that the coaches could look at it after the fact. They took that and then sold it. You know what I mean? That to me is where the biggest issue of the video being leaked is that it's somebody that worked for the Golden State Warriors organization and, sold that information. Do I think Draymond should have punched the dude? No, maybe. I want to, but outside of that, no. It's when it happens, heat of the moment, things like that, they do happen, and it'll be interesting to see. I honestly think that that's almost a bigger story than Udoka going into the season because so far all the reports are now that Poole hasn't accepted his apology, and Draymond's coming back. You know what I mean? And so they haven't talked yet. So that's going to be all friction and who's going to, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out. But
I have to say, though, that this is the only way that the Warriors didn't get back to the finals, I have to say. Because you want to talk about deep, the Warriors are just as deep as the Celtics are. Or at least close. They're very, very deep. They're so now the two favorites have some distractions that they have to deal with, so.
Yeah, they basically brought back the exact same team they had last year.
Right. Plus, Wiseman is coming off the bench, and Kuminga is, in all likelihood, going to blossom into the next big thing. So it's going to be an interesting season for them. I think they'll have a good season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which pisses me off.
But they're going to lose to the Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals.
I don't know.
Be nice to see. I would love to see that.
I think Luka had him on the ropes in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but he's missing his point guard. Who's their point guard now? The Mavs. Who's the point guard for the Mavs now? It's not the guy that went to the Knicks. Well, whatever his name was, I can't remember his name. But yeah, Jalen Brunson,
who got way overpaid.
way overpaid to go play with his dad. Yeah,
the Knicks overpaid for someone. I'm shocked by this.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm sure it'll really turn the page for them, and they'll be in the top of the East.
Yeah. Are we going with the Bruins? Spencer Dinwiddie, by the way, is their point guard.
Spencer Dinwiddie. Okay.
Bruins predictions.
Bruins
predictions. Because they start in minutes.
Yep. At 7:30. Puck drops just after 7:30 in DC against the Capitals. So they have some injuries, although Matt Grzelcyk is going to play. He was one of the guys that had surgery and was thought to miss a month or two, but he is ready to go. Taylor Hall is ready to go. He was injured during preseason, but he'll be ready to go. So I think they're looking better going into the season than back in 2 months ago. I thought they were gonna. So I still think that if you watched any of the playoffs last year and you see the top tier teams like Tampa Bay and Florida and Carolina,
Colorado.
Well, I'm just saying in the Eastern Conference,
sure. Yep.
they don't have the
Representing Isaiah.
speed and size to keep up with these guys. So I think they're going to be they just make the playoffs, and maybe they get lucky and get a hot goalie and go a round or two. But they're going to be like a 6th, 7th seed probably. I mean, they're in that middle of the pack, and I think they'll weather the storm until McAvoy and Marshy get back.
What's your total?
I forget is it 82
82
games for
82.
again? Okay,
Yep.
so I'll say they'll have 48 wins.
Oh, I'm gonna go 49 and 33. All right.
Oh, okay. No 22 there, Tim?
Nope.
Hard.
No, I'm giving the
All right.
bird. I'm giving him the bird.
Give him the
49 and
bird.
33.
All right, I'm saying 50 and 32.
Probably about 45 wins. I'm gonna say 45. Let's say 45 wins. I think they're going to be. They're not going to be one of the best teams in the conference, but they'll be. They'll play. They'll play their ass off, and they got my boy from University of Maine in the net. So
So who's not starting tonight? So that's interesting. That
what
the new coach? Yeah, new coach is. So according to what happens in the skate around the day of the game, whichever goalie comes off the ice first is usually the one who's starting, and Linus was the first one off the ice, so that's most likely he's starting.
Interesting.
So we got a new coach, and don't know how he's gonna play with the goalies. So
yeah, Linus's paycheck didn't change over the offseason, so I think they're going to make sure, hey, if he's worth keeping in, and then they'll make a decision from there, I suppose. Interesting. All right. Final thoughts, Adam, before you head off to play Madden on the Switch. I practiced saying that without laughing, and I didn't do a great job.
Listen. Do you
have the new one? Do you have the OLED Switch, or do you have the old school, the OG?
No, the old school.
We have the OG Switch at our house.
Quite honestly, I didn't buy it for myself. It was a Christmas gift for the girls.
Yeah.
So now I just happen to play it. So, it's not like I get any street cred for that either. So, no, I think, I think Boston sports is actually looking up a little bit. I mean, I still think the Patriots season is going to be salvageable. I think the Celtics season is going to be great. And, I don't really watch the Bruins, but I hope that they do well. So, yeah, I think it's going to be, I think we're moving. We're moving and grooving.
So Dugan a while back put out the fact that we should make a trip in December on the 15th out to Vegas. Patriots are out there.
I'm not opposed to that.
Oh, interesting. All right. little In-N-Out burger. We get in, we get out with our lives.
Never been to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas.
How was Vegas? The chlamydia was delicious. Yeah. All right. I'm just throwing it out there because Dugan will head in from Diego, and we do still. They're in the midst of it now though, so the Padres have advanced. So when Alex is done calling games. Not calling games, but working at Petco when the season wraps up for them. Hopefully it's very late in the month of October. We will get Dr. Miniac on, but I do know that Dugan would love for us to figure out December. And I don't know that it's on a map for me, quite honestly, but we should have a bigger conversation about that because I think you can get in and out of Vegas pretty quickly.
I think whoever's leading in our fantasy football league should pay for everybody to go.
How's that working out for you?
Well, Scotty Dukes and I both are 4-1.
4-1.
Everybody's just going to start sandbagging now, though. It's like the worst credit card roulette ever. Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Oh, sorry, that's my AARP card. I'm the only one.
I did not agree to that.
I did not agree to that.
Absolutely.
Check the waiver wire. There'll be a lot of people available.
Yes. Unbelievable. Well, we appreciate you guys hanging out. You can check out everything at atbshow.com. We'll be back next week. We didn't really touch on Brady's sack there. I got it in. We'll discuss it more next week. But they are screwing up, and I know we touched on it real quick. It's fascinating to me that I'm glad they acted quickly on the protocol for the concussions on a Saturday before going into Sunday. the fact that the competition committee is going to wait on roughing the passer until the offseason, they could adjust those rules on a Wednesday if they wanted to. And I think it's going to cause mayhem, to Scotty's point, when it gets into the playoffs. It's going to cost.
They're going to try and get Brady an 8th ring.
It's going to cost somebody an advance in the playoffs, and that's going to be amazing.
It won't be the Falcons.
Not to mention, Adam, in a few weeks we have the midterms. You and I can talk offline. I'm very excited.
Yes,
very
please.
excited.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Lots to discuss.
Yes. All the boulder dashing. That'll be our
We
political
can talk
show.
sports, buddy. We'll talk
Oh
sports.
my God. All right. Check us out at ATB Show. We'll see you back here. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. And we appreciate you guys checking us out. We'll see you. Thank you, Uncle Dukes. Thank you, Rubber Shoes. Thank you, Adam. See you.